On this special edition of Lexington Now, the Southland Drive corridor, the Citizens Environmental Academy, and the MPO Participation Plan. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of September 28, 2020. Southland Drive is one of the oldest commercial and residential corridors in the city, and there have been multiple improvements made over the last several years, culminating in a press event this last week.
This project has transformed and revitalized Southland Drive. This busy corridor really was beginning to show its age, and now it is a beautiful, safe place to walk or cycle, and it's a great place to shop. And so now some of the things that we have are 6-foot wide sidewalks on both sides of Southland Drive, more than 120 new trees, along with additional landscape. A gardenscape replacing the concrete ditch east of the railroad overpass, 11 temporary art installations, and next spring a mural will be painted on the railroad overpass. We also have upgraded traffic signals at Southview and Cherry Bark Drives, adding pedestrian signals at Regency Road, and 2 mid-block crossings. Councilmember Bledsoe, construction on this project, which you have been a huge proponent and advocate and mover and shaker on, started in May 2019, and I think you've been involved since the beginning.
Now, this is an area where it's clear that the public investment of the infrastructure, from the sidewalks to the stormwater improvements, really multiplied the private investment. You've seen so many businesses here expand, beautify, increase, others who have shown up simply because they want to be here on Southland Drive. I can't tell you how many people ask me, do you have a home for sale in Southland area? Because it is a hot commodity and it's hard to find. They fly like hotcakes. And it's because of the community that people want to live in. You know, when I was young, I used to walk from Open Gates down here to Southland Drive to buy a Coke at the little pharmacy. And that was a big deal because we didn't have Coke a lot in my house growing up. And now, Mom and I still walk down here for coffee, for dinner, for lunch, to shop. And now so many more people in this area can do so safely. And for that, I'm very thankful for the continued investment that the city has made under your leadership, Mayor, to do so, and for the number of people who have supported this area. And I'm proud to represent it, and I'm really excited about what's coming up in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We've lived near probably about half a mile from Southland for the last 25, 24 years. And immediately we found it's the fun place to go. It's where the interesting businesses are. And if you look around here, and I was gonna start naming them, but then I knew I'd forget a bunch. But these are the uniquely Lexington businesses. From the co-op, okay, I'm gonna name a few. And you'll see, this tells you more about my shopping habits than the businesses, but the co-op and Winchell's, where I've watched many basketball games, and I'm really excited to see Critchfield's is moving in, and the farmers market is a real favorite of ours, and yeah, we walk down on Sunday mornings and do our farmers market shopping here. And I probably shouldn't say that because the other farmers market is actually in my district downtown, but it's just such a great resource to be able to hop on my bike. It took me maybe 5 minutes to bicycle down here, and then lo and behold, I thought, uh-oh, where am I going to find a bike rack? Those are sometimes hard to find, but there was one right here, right where I needed it. So these kind of improvements, the sidewalks and the bike lanes and the crosswalks and the parking racks for bicycles, just make it that much more accessible for people who aren't quite as hardcore bicyclists as maybe I am, to feel comfortable and safe and come down with their kids. I love seeing families bike down to the farmer's market on a Sunday morning. That to me is the essence of taking advantage of a really cool city like Lexington and some of the really interesting things we have to offer. So I'm just excited to see this improving not just my district, but personally my neighborhood as well as my city. So thank you, Mayor, and thanks for inviting me to be a part of this.
We're actually standing in my district right now in front of Good Foods Co-op, and I am so excited that I get to represent a small piece of Southland Drive. It has been a place that I have frequented ever since I can remember. The unique businesses that Councilmember Swanson mentioned, and the unique activities and the people that make up this area are very important to me. Mainly, all I want to do is thank the many people that worked on this project, especially Councilmember Bledsoe and all the council members, and even Mayor Gray before me. They are the ones that worked tirelessly to get this project done, something that is vital to the area and makes the businesses and the livability so much better and more connectable. So I want to thank all of them and the work that they did, and the current administration for seeing it through. And I know that there's a lot of people that work in the city to make a project like this happen. It's not just one, it's many people. And sometimes it takes a long time to see all that hard work of starting a project pay off. And it finally paid off, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And I hope that everybody will come down and visit Southland Drive and the wonderful things that are happening here. Thank you so much.
The popular Citizens Environmental Academy is still going on in a modified and pared back way. And although this current edition is full, Chrissy Balding of Environmental Services tells us what the Academy is about and how you can get in on the next edition.
So we're entering our 4th year of the Citizens Environmental Academy, and it was delayed. In a normal year, we would start in June, and we just kind of took a wait-and-see approach with the pandemic, but did have our first session this past Saturday. We have a smaller class than normal. We would usually have about 20 folks, and we only have 12. So we're taking lots of precautions and making sure that everyone is socially distant and masked. Kind of a blending of the existing city academies and also the Leadership Lexington program. It's kind of a crash course on everything that Environmental Quality and Public Works does. If you've heard of the Citizens Police Academy or the Citizens Fire Academy, it's a similar philosophy. So folks who are very interested in environmental issues make a year-long commitment. In this case, we're going to be a little short of a year. Learning about these. So they'll come on Saturdays and do really hands-on field trips. Like our next one will be here at McConnell Springs, and they'll learn about urban forestry and also stormwater, about the retention pond that is here. The curriculum basically stays the same from year to year in that they learn about the same topics. Now, each particular class has their areas that they're more or less interested in. In a normal year, it is one Saturday a month from June until November. And then the second half of the year, you're just meeting with your project team, so you determine your own schedule. This year, of course, everything is a little different. So we're condensing it down. We're doing 2 Saturdays a month in the fall just to try to get in as many in-person meetings as we can. For a typical Saturday, we'll have a couple of different speakers on related topics. So we might have someone talk about the benefits of trees, but then also the stormwater benefits of trees. And we'll do a tour, and they'll get to see examples. They might get to practice mulching a tree properly. And we have 5 of those sessions that are kind of behind the scenes, really hands-on. And then after the 5 sessions are over, they get to take everything they've seen and turn that into a project pitch and say, you know, here is a way I think the city could improve, or somewhere where there's a gap and something that we could do. So the class will form teams and pitch projects, and we'll select 2 of those to continue. Our goal is for these to be something that have a sustainable element to them. It's not like the class has graduated and those projects are done, never to be seen or heard from again. So there's a couple of examples here at McConnell Springs. If you've noticed the tree crutch over at the Bur Oak, that was from the first Citizens Environmental Academy class. There was a participant who taught in the UK College of Design, and when we did the tour, there was talk about how, this limb was not doing very well, and it was over top of a pedestrian path. So that group created the crutch to keep that tree going. There's also a project over by the Blue Hole. They were having a problem with erosion every time it rained. So kind of created a retention area to slow that down. You can find out more by going to lexingtonky.gov/CEA, and we'll begin accepting applications for next year for the, 2022 class in February.
When we come back, the MPO Participation Plan.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear your mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask so that the senior center can open soon.
Please wear a mask so I can celebrate my 80th birthday.
So that I can feel safe wherever I go in Lexington.
So we can attend our son's wedding.
To give me the ability to run errands and stay active and independent.
We can seniors get back to our normal routine.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. The Metropolitan Planning Organization is looking for your input into the transportation future of Fayette and Jessamine counties. Kenzie Gleason fills us in.
My name is Kenzie Gleason. I'm an administrative officer with the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the transportation planning agency for both Fayette and Jessamine County. And we're responsible for overseeing a transportation planning process for our two communities. We gather input from the public and from local officials and incorporate that into our transportation plans for the community, how we're going to invest transportation dollars in our region. So we oversee plans for all modes of transportation. So this would include public transit, bicycling, walking, and for vehicles. So we're interested in, are there gaps in services or facilities that we need to try to improve upon? And we do different inventories and collect a lot of data and perform analysis, for instance, crash data analysis, to determine where we need to make improvements and try to prioritize those improvements. So we produce a 20-year long-range plan for how we plan to spend federal dollars on transportation projects for the area, and then a 4-year improvement program that actually programs those monies for the nearer term projects that will proceed over the next several years. One of the things that we're tasked with is finding different ways to keep the public informed with what's going on in terms of plans and projects related to transportation, and seeking their feedback on those plans and those projects. So what our participation plan does is it outlines the different methods that we plan to use in order to reach the public and to solicit their input. So one of the main reasons we're updating the participation plan right now is to include the use of virtual meetings as a strategy that we're going to use and that the public has agreed is acceptable to them. It seems, at least in, for instance, our Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, we tend to have a lot of citizens that are interested in that topic and who attend our meetings regularly. Since we've gone to a virtual format, we've had even more people participating. So while sort of, I guess, a bit of the silver lining in how things are being managed these days in terms of public meetings is that I think the virtual platform allows a lot of people to be able to participate who maybe otherwise wouldn't have attended an in-person meeting. The participation plan is out currently right now in a draft format so that the public can review what we have proposed and let us know if they feel like there are improvements that we could make to both that plan and the things that resulted from that. We'd like to know, how do you usually receive your information? Or is it more through social media? Is it through traditional news sources and so forth? Are there ways that we can reach you that we're not reaching you now? What are the best ways that we can try to make sure that we're getting the word to you and that you have the opportunity to tell us what you think about the news that we're sharing? Our Transportation Policy Committee is the board that oversees all of the different planning documents and transportation plans for our region. They will approve the plan based on our revisions per the public input.
You can give your input through the end of October at lexareampo.org. 2 popular solid waste events are returning beginning this weekend. Waste Management's Lauren Monahan gives us the details.
Hi, I'm Lauren Monahan, Environmental Initiative Specialist with Lexington's Division of Waste Management. Today we are out at our event site. This is actually Lexington's old landfill, closed many years ago, that's been repurposed to be a really wonderful large event site. We're excited to host 2 events this fall for Lexington residents, and we're especially excited because we were forced to cancel our spring events due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're really excited to be hosting not only a paper shred event for Lexington residents, but also a hazardous waste collection. Both of these events will occur in October of 2020. The first will be paper shred. That will occur on Saturday, October 3rd. The hours will be 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. and it'll be here at our event site. The address is 1631 Old Frankfort Pike. The entrance to this event site is actually via Jimmy Campbell Drive, and that allows for smooth access and a one-way in entrance, one-way out exit. We'll have plenty of signage that day, so don't worry. Just follow the signage whether you're coming from in town or New Circle Road. And we'll have lots of volunteers outfitted in PPE this time around. There are a few things that we'll go through in a bit to remember to keep everybody safe as you attend this event. Our second event that I mentioned, that will be the hazardous waste collection event. That'll be at the same location where we're at today, 1631 Old Frankfort Pike, entrance via Jimmy Campbell Drive. The hours of the hazardous waste collection will be 8:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. And so for both of these events, the paper shred and the hazardous waste event, we ask that all residents please help us out, help keep everybody who attends safe by remaining in your vehicles at all times. This will be different from previous events in that we want to keep you safe. We want you to keep your windows rolled up. We also want you to load your materials, whether it be paper at the paper shred or hazardous materials from your house for the hazardous waste collection, in your vehicle's trunk. This will make it extremely easy for our employees to help unload. All you have to do is remain in your vehicle, pop your trunk, and we'll do the unloading for you. Our employees will be outfitted in the proper PPE, masks, Tyvek suits, that sort of thing, to help prevent the spread of any germs. So we really look forward to seeing you that day here at 1631 Old Frankfort Pike for both our paper shred event this fall as well as our hazardous waste collection. So if residents would like more information or guidelines for both of our community events this fall, you can visit for the paper shred, lexingtonky.gov/papershred. We'll have guidelines such as the limit on the amount of paper residents can bring and some other reminders on that website. If you're interested in attending our hazardous waste collection event, of course, both of these events are free for Lexington residents. You can visit lexingtonky.gov/HHW event. Now on that website, we'll have a digital survey that you can access. We've had paper surveys available in the past. This year, in order to prevent the spread of any germs and to make the event as contactless as possible, please visit that website. Again, that's lexingtonky.gov/HHW event to access the digital survey. This survey is required by the state of Kentucky's Environmental Quality Division. They awarded us grant money to help pay for the safe disposal of the hazardous waste collected that day.
Most meetings at City Hall are now in a virtual format, and we are bringing many of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. We continue to help keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all the staff at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.